without putting a considerable amount more effort with very diminishing results. I'm really happy with how this is turning out. A lot of the little scratches that were in this area, you can't even see them anymore. There's some spots where it's wet still, but on the edges here, you can't even tell really where there was any scratches. There's a little tiny bit of a difference in finish here for some odd reason. I don't know why, but anyhow, I can't even feel that, but you can kind of see it. I don't know if it's showing up that well on the camera. There's a couple little scratches I want to spend a little bit more time on, but other than that, I think I'm ready to move on to the other edge and see if we can get some paint on this guy. Like I said, don't go too crazy with the water. Obviously, we don't want to get the electronics on the other side. I know they're just incandescent light bulbs and wires that have insulation on them anyways, but still, you don't want to get that stuff wet if you can avoid it. This just was this particular piece was a little bit of an eyesore to me. Like I said, this came off of a Ford Cobra, which is in very good condition, and this lens, for some odd reason, I have no idea how it happened, but had some scratches on it. And it was like an eyesore because, you know, when everything's perfect, you see one spot that's not. That's the spot that sticks out, you know. So I'm just trying to make this as good as I reasonably can without buying a new piece. A lot of you guys too probably out there are more interested in restoring your pieces because you want to keep those OEM parts on your cars. You start getting aftermarket stuff. It doesn't have the manufacturer stampings on it, date codes. It might not say the manufacturer or the part number on it. Just some people couldn't care less about that. Me personally, I kind of like to stick with OEM parts when I can, but it's not the end of the world if I have to buy something reproduction or aftermarket. I think I might be in a good spot here to move on to the other side and then do the final rundown with some 2000. Oh yeah, that's looking really good now. Okay, I'm gonna do one last swipe just to get all these little final sanding lines in one direction rather than in a little bit of a swirling motion. I mean, you shouldn't see any of that once I hit it with the 2000 and then clear coat over it, but anyways, I just want to make sure they're all running the same direction. In case for some odd reason some scratches do show up, I at least want them to look maybe like they were factory or something. I want it to look like I was in here sanding at it. Okay. Now you can see this is starting to look pretty good. I think I'm pretty happy with how it turned out. Like I said, you know, there's a little bit of a, I don't know if that's wet or what that is exactly, but yeah, it's still a little wet there. But you can see the finish is much improved to how it was. Very big improvement here. One little spot here still on the edge I need to pay some attention to. too. I think I might have to time lapse a little bit of this video. I'm sure nobody wants to watch anyone sanding away. So when I go through this video, I'll try to edit out or time lapse out some of this. You don't have to watch me sand. Okay. All right, I think I'm pretty happy with this side. And like I said, you know, this edge here was actually in really good shape. There was just a few scratches on the top, but on this back side, as you can see, I'm gonna get it wet a little bit to get some of that residue out, some of that sanding residue. But this edge was actually in really good shape. I don't know if I really need to mess with that, to be honest. Kind of half tempted just to put a little scuff coat on it, just to give the clear something to adhere to, but other than that, this edge actually looks really good. I'm not going to mess with that one. All right, so I'm going to switch on over to the 2000. Get a little finer finish on here, and then get some clear coat on it. I think you guys will be really impressed with the results. I mean, like I said, this piece wasn't horrendous, but it was bad enough and annoying enough to the point where any improvement I think I'll be happy with. I mean, obviously I want it to look as close to OEM as I can, but sometimes those results aren't always realistic. I try to keep my projects realistic. I want you guys thinking that this is going to be flawless, show car perfect, but I think it's going to be very good too. Between very good and excellent, as far as most people's standards would be. And a lot of people have this problem. You know, this is something that anybody can tackle. So not any advanced knowledge or tools or anything is required to get very good results on any piece on your car. Actually, this is pretty much the same process that they would use even to get minor paint defects out. Instead of applying a clear coat, most likely you would just be using some polishing compound on it after the fact, though, but it's more or less the same exact process. You have small scratches on your vehicle's finish, which don't penetrate through the clear coat or through the base coat. This is the same process that someone would use to do a restoration on those defects. Same exact process, the wet sanding, and then just polish it out and buff it out, get a coat of wax on it, you're good to go. You'll never know it's there. All right, guys, I think I'm pretty much in a happy place here with this. I'm gonna do a quick rinse off on this and see what it looks like. But I think we're in a good spot here. So let me rinse this plastic and dirty water off of here and have a final look at what she looks like. I know a lot of you guys out there probably are super anal about certain things on your car looking absolutely perfect, so obviously you can spend as much time as you want on this. So I think it's looking pretty good. I don't see any major flaws or anything that I really want to deal with right now. I think it's looking pretty good, so I'm ready to get some clear on there. I think it's going to turn out awesome. I think I might see one little scratch right there. I want to hit that with some 1500, make sure this is the right one. Yeah, there's one little scratch right here. I don't know if you can see that on the video or not, but right there, there's a little tiny scratch. I'm gonna try to get that out as long as I'm here already with all the material and everything out. Yep, it's already gone. So after I do the final dry and clean up on this guy, I'm gonna have to shut the camera off here for a second and get ready for do some cleanup here, and then get ready for the clear coat. Obviously, I'm gonna have to step away for a second. So I'll get you back up to speed with the clear coat video next. That's going to be super simple. Once again, you know, the key with paint is typically multiple coats, not too much paint. You don't want to get any runs. You want to get clear, clean, even strokes. You don't want to get any, like I said, you don't want to get any drips in your paint, and you also don't want to have any spots where you get wet to dry, you know, where you get some kind of, you get some of the paint starts to flash off and then you go over it and it doesn't mix together. So yeah, this is really looking good. I think I'm pretty happy with it. I'll probably put some, before I clear this guy, I'm gonna put some tape on the back, some painter's tape, just to protect the electrical components, the light bulbs, the wiring and everything. But once again, that's on a spot that you don't really see in the vehicle, so I'm not super concerned. Anyways, you guys get the idea. I'm gonna